We recently spent the day at the beach and watched with interest children building castles in the sand. One particular castle was huge and quite elaborate. Several children were diligently at work when we stopped to admire their creation. They explained that they had spent over 3 hours creating their beautiful castle, and it was evident that they were quite proud of their accomplishment. As we watched these children busily building their castle, we thought surely much of what we do must appear in God's sight as children building sand castles. At the moment their creation looked quite secure since it was low tide, but just as the tide goes out, it will surely return, and when it does, it will erase the work of these children. It was the afternoon when these children finally finished their castle, but by morning light, there was no evidence that they had ever been there. When one has an opportunity to visit the ruins of ancient civilizations, the same kind of thoughts come to mind. Ur of the Chaldees was a thriving city when Abraham lived there. But now it is a heap of ruins. Babylon was the pride and joy of Nebuchadnezzar, but he and his beautiful city had molded into dust. What did the people who lived there then do? They worked hard. They built beautiful cities, and although their ruins lasted longer than the children's sandcastle, their labor did them no more lasting good than did the children's efforts. For children to make castles in the sand is fun, but what a waste of effort and talent should they devote their entire lives to building sandcastles. No one expects them to do this, but certainly from God's viewpoint, most of the world is busily engaged in activities that have no lasting value. Jesus paints us a picture of how things were in the past and how it will be when he comes. He graphically shows us that most people will be just like little children busily engaged in building their sandcastle. He tells us, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out from Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven, and destroyed them all. Now certainly it is not a sin to eat, or to buy something, or to plant, or to build. But that's all they did. They had no time for God. Their whole life was filled with things of this world. So what are we doing? What are we building that will stand in the day of Christ's coming? Build on the foundation of Christ those things that will last. Now is the time to rise up and build for Christ.